Going into Friday night, the Meigs Marauders were undefeated. Tonight, they're not. Now I'm joined by Andrew Hohman. And Andrew, it's safe to say that the Marauders are not a fan of playing out in the alley in Alexander.
That can't be more true, Sean. 2 days, 2 losses at Alexander. The Marauders' undefeated campaign may be over, but this first loss comes just in time for Meigs to learn some lessons before the matchup with Vinton County. The Marauders, we know they can keep up in a shootout, and that was basically the first half of the game against the Spartans. But the problems came down low. Chase Harris and Corey Chapman combined for 29 points, and their offensive rebounds were a deciding factor. The Marauders aren't outsized vertically, but tall men like Jared Kennedy and Jackson Meadows can't body up some of the more physical players they face. And that will be the biggest challenge Tuesday when they try to make Chase Wood a non-factor. But the Marauders do have a lot on their side. Let's not forget, these guys are 11-1 right now. Meigs' offensive balance is their biggest advantage. They have a handful of guys that can score 15 to 20 points on a given night. But the bottom line is, if Meigs fights for rebounds and has a solid night shooting, the Marauders can regain their top spot at the top of the TVC Ohio.
Yeah, that's going to be a really important game for Meigs, but what's behind the Lady Marauder success this past week?
Well, coaches always talk about finishing the season better than you start, and that's exactly what Meigs coach Scott Cleland is doing over the course of the season. The Lady Marauders' improvement was most evident against River Valley. Meigs' offense was simply unproductive when the teams played in December. Round 2 was a different story, though. Back-to-back three-pointers from Cassidy Betzing and Madison Fields in the third quarter sparked the Lady Marauders' victory. A 45-point swing is nothing to mess with. And then against Alexander, the Lady Marauders may have lost by 23, but it was still a solid improvement. 18 of those points were given up in the third quarter, and Alexander was held to a shooting percentage of 22. No surprise with the Meigs' dominant defense. A player that especially stood out this week was Devin Humphreys. She's missed a lot of the season due to illness, but she can shoot and play well down low. Alexander coach Corey McKnight referred to Humphreys as an added dimension and said Meigs was a lot better the second time around. The biggest difference in these rematches is Meigs' patience on the offensive end. Between Humphreys and the improved offense, Meigs is on a new campaign.
Yeah, we'll see if that campaign can continue. Thanks a lot, Andrew. If you've been following